Okay.
Yep. All right.
We are back in open session. Next item C, consideration of resolution 23-10-2643, approving the 2024-2028 capital improvements program and 2024 capital borrowing. Is there a motion to approve this?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Do we want to talk about these budget amendments?
Yeah. So the first one is, if you remember, the other is committee of the whole for the street lighting street project for $85,000. We actually had moved 20 watt from 24 to 25. And this, we didn't realize this afterwards. This is actually related to the whole watt project when we do aligning with the sewers project. So this is just a match off with the actual 25 project.
Do you want a separate vote on each of these amendments from finance and personnel?
We don't. I usually don't think you just pass it along.
I think they do, yeah. I think we can just pass it along. with
This is
the-
more just updating what these are, if you have questions.
Okay.
I mean, that's what done in the past.
Okay. Any questions about that one?
No.
And the second one, this was a, I was truly don't know what happened here in this one. In the original one we met with the mayor, we had $65,000 in for the park truck replacement, and when we got into the final budget, we put 50. I don't know. I mean, maybe I put the wrong number, and I don't know what happened, so I apologize. So it was incorrectly included. So the park truck replacement, and you can look at all his information. It was for $65,000 and not $55,000. So I'm just going to increase that to what the description actually ends up being what he needed. So if you go, I don't know if you have in your budget books, it's basically $63,500 because it has the plow on there too.
Any questions about that one?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. On the capital borrowing, would the clerk please call the roll if there aren't any other questions? Or Doug, did you have some questions?
Yeah, I mean, I'll bring this up at City Council, I guess, when we have Dan here, but I'm concerned about the amount of funding that's in the 24 budget for road maintenance. That,
For
I mean,
300,000,
well,
I think.
right, but we're not doing anything else. We're not doing any mill and overlay, or we took out, obviously, moved Tanyawatha back. Where's
Which he suggested.
okay. Well, okay. I guess
Doesn't road maintenance include mill and overlay and
no.
times?
No. Usually the mill and overlay is more expensive. There was $140,000 in from Midland and Bridge
That
Road.
was something I had asked you to put in. And we took it out because it was, the total was so far above what we were aiming for.
Okay. Well, I didn't have a chance to go back and look historically, but I mean, I think this year we only did 200 and where'd it go? I got too many documents open. Yeah, this year we did 253 in street maintenance, and we did our part of Atwood. I'm just concerned, if we do the length of the streets that we have to maintain doesn't change. So if we don't do them, we just fall behind, and at some point that maintenance curve cost gets really steep.
No, and I know Dan proposed that to us, so we didn't cut it. I know last year that was a big issue last year. We didn't reduce it. So
The road street maintenance, or did we?
we reduced the street maintenance last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this year, I put it to 3, but that was his recommendation to us.
Okay. I'll ask him then.
Just looking at the rest Well, there's the Tellurian driveway, I mean, that's a whole road.
True.
Really. And the bridge road. Yeah, so. Do you have anything else?
No.
Review, and Patrick, did you have any questions about the capital budget?
I do not.
Okay. Well then, I guess we're essentially going to be approving moving it on to the council. So would the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman Gulak.
Aye.
Alderman
Aye.
Motion passes.
Mayor, just to be clear, that includes the 2 amendments that were.
Right.
Yeah. The next, I just wanted to have a discussion of how next steps regarding the referendum planning for the staff new position requests. I don't know if, kind of, we've heard the requests, and now staff is wondering how should we handle this. And I'm not quite sure. I know we have some questions about some of them. I don't know if Neil has talked about doing some if-then kind of things. Would you like staff to make Neil and Mark to make a recommendation about which ones we should include in an operating referendum, or should we include them all, or what's? I'm just looking for a little input from you two.
Well, yeah, I think I would certainly appreciate getting a recommendation on it. And I was, when you say all, you mean like all the requests that we
Yeah.
talked about last time? I mean, I can't.
Staff request.
All the ones that we met with staff about.
No. I mean, there was, yeah, no, I would not want to just see that.
So that's to come back, I'll just because we'll have staff make a recommendation on I think, I guess a better fit in terms of the number we want to use for projected staff for the
Right.
referendum.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can certainly take a look at that.
And I think we kind of have to, I think, split it into 2 pieces really, because there's quite a few of them that we just need regardless. And then there's another group that we wouldn't even have a spot for if we didn't get that new building.
Right.
So, but I think it's all going to be one question probably, isn't it?
Yeah, I think in terms of
We
what
have to talk more with Miller about that, I guess.
yeah, the interesting thing is obviously we'll be probably, and this is speculation certainly on my part at this point, but we would probably be taking a look at focusing that number of staff down to something that certainly finance and council can get comfortable with. But then from a design standpoint, probably giving us a little wiggle room on the outside to make sure we've got room for, and obviously for a 40-year window or 50-year window on a building, probably going to need to have some extra space for unanticipated staffing needs. So it's going to be a little bit of a rein it back in and then figure out what's an appropriate way to accommodate future needs. So kind of giving you guys at least a logical thought process on what staff did to come up with that space would probably be what we would want to bring back. And then certainly bring it to you guys for discussion.
So, just to be clear, I mean, my concern is more the number and the cost of the total number of new positions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Not in relation to the space in the building, or
We do, unfortunately, from a staff standpoint, Alder, we kind of see them as being tied because that number is actually going to be used by Bray actually design, because they're going to do a human capacity number to kind of figure out what they think they're going to need to design physically for the space. So they are very much connected. So there will be a capital impact to the number of bodies as well as an operational impact.
Especially.
I thought if you didn't change the footprint of the building, that how many people were in it wasn't as big a, the footprint is the more important
But we are
number.
changing the footprint because we're adding a whole building off.
No, I know,
Yeah.
right. We're gonna, right. But that's the size of that reconstructed footprint was more important than how many people were in it.
I guess it depends on what you consider to be the limiting factor, Alder. If you say we can only be this square footage, that's it.
Yeah.
Then that's it.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, so I think the architect's going to definitely want to see an anticipated
Yeah.
population for the building, I think.
Because they've been meeting with staff both previously, and we'll double check again, on what staffing they anticipate needing over the next, like, 30 years or whatever, and then they're designing to that. So, and that isn't all people that we have on staff right now, or positions that we have right
Right.
now, you know.
And not all positions that we're going to put in the referendum either.
True.
I mean,
Right, and that's what I think, but it's still helping, that's still gonna be a key factor.
right, because then they'll probably add some
Absolutely.
percentage onto that. Okay.
Absolutely, so.
All right.
And there's also things for some of these public safety positions, there's that federal funding for, you know, if where it will fund 4 years, what, 100% one year and then 75 the next, and
For which one?
for public safety positions. So I think we've had some of that before for,
Yeah, we did that once before, and then I think we ended up eliminating the position at the end of it, didn't
probably,
we?
that's, yeah, so.
Or,
That's something else to take into consideration, though, that we could ease our way into some of these going forward, too. But obviously, we'd have to have the money, so it's going to be a complicated.
Yeah, it could also be, I'm sure they may, the feds have probably learned a little bit too, they probably have language in their grant agreement saying, you can't do that.
Like you have to
To make
fund
the
it.
investment, they gotta stick around. I wouldn't.
I think
surprise
there
me to
is.
see
I
that.
think there is some minimum requirement for how long after,
Yeah.
but and we may have just left the position vacant. I think we didn't actually eliminate it, or Bob, when Bob was mayor.
So, okay, well, we will, Mark and Neil and I will, and Leah, I guess we'll talk about.
And so basically though, you won't be here next meeting, so we're looking at November.
Yeah, let's talk about it in November.
Okay.
We'll have that out probably ahead of time, certainly before the meeting.
Yeah, yeah. And
That's
we
what
could
we'll
even
discuss.
share a draft with the
Yeah.
two of you,
Yeah.
and you could let us, you know, if you've got some input or whatever, if that makes sense. So.
I mean, we could share. Well, we don't want to get into a walking quorum
Right.
issues, though. So, okay.
Or we could have another special meeting too.
Right.
That certainly is an option, so. Okay, moving on then, the final item is acceptance of general fund accounts payable checks dated September 15th through the 28th, 2023. Documentation of invoices paid is available in the city clerk's office. Mark.
Yeah, it's a lot of ordinary stuff, but first page, or page 6, Kinston Hotel. This is our development agreement we have with them. I think it's paid based on how much money they pay in room tax. The money doesn't come out of the room tax. It's just a way to measure how much we pay for the developers agreement
Yeah.
that we agreed to. So there's two distinctions on that. Page 7, actually Burleson, just want to know that's 2 months worth of bills right there on that. Page 9, GEC, General Engineering Company, here's your August billing. Just know that with the big projects coming in now, North Point starting, BESA should be starting fairly soon. So this number will increase a little bit, I would assume, over the next months or so.
Mark, if you're done with that, I've got a question about Homburg on that same page.
Oh, sure.
Do you know, is that involve the concrete, part of it, the concrete they poured to install this table that someone donated for Ahuska Park? I know Jake had been waiting for them to come, and they kept moving us down in their schedule.
Yeah, where's that in there?
I think it is, but I'll double check.
Okay,
Because it's paid by donations and some stuff, so.
Okay, because some of the people connected with the Veterans Memorial have been asking me when that was going to happen, and Jake said we were on Homburg's list, but.
Yeah, I'll double check.
So, okay.
I think that's what it is. J.M. Brennan at the very bottom, just repairs for the boilers and stuff that they add up. Page 10, Land Tech, it's our IT services. It's one of those things that we just needed more and more with everything going on and down with all the different types of attacks on our IT system.
What is that number usually?
Yeah, that's
It's usually around 8,000 or so.
Okay.
Page 11, just MG&E bills for the month. Water bills. Page 13, Stectoto, I don't know how to pronounce it, 2000, very top, the firearms. Just so you know, this is usually what it is. The officers have to buy their own guns, and then sometimes we'll pay for it, and then they'll get reimbursed. They'll pay us over like a year. We take it out of their checks. So we just take them, we'll pay for it, and then they'll reimburse us for that. We get better deals for them. Page 17, if you look at the first student, had some, they weren't sending us their bills, so we're caught up now. That's all I have, I think. Yeah.
Any other questions for Mark?
I do not.
Nope.
Is there a motion to accept the bills?
Motion to accept the bills?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 We are adjourned.